Yep, now we're just gonna be chilling for a little bit. Alright. Hope everybody's having a good day today. Let's see. Put that over there. This over. Alright. So, a lot of stuff going on in the world, I guess. Cool. Yeah, now it works for some odd reason. I have no idea. I don't get it. Maybe it was the GPU that was causing all these problems. It's possible. It's very possible. But I am still gonna firmly say that it's just my internet that was causing so many problems. I mean, with that War Thunder stream I just ended, I lost like 70, 80,000 frames within just those couple of minutes, so. Anyways, how's the chat doing today? Hope everybody's doing all right. Seems logical, yeah. Is my chat box not on? Because I don't see the chats. What's going on here? I don't know. Now, there it goes. Now it's dropping frames. Of course. No, it's not the heat. It's not the heat. Oh, now the chat box pops up. I know for a fact it's not the heat. It's just the internet because my bit rate keeps dropping and fluctuating. So, similar thing happens to your PC. Then that's thermal throttling. It forces the components to slow down. This doesn't want to slow down. The problem is that the internet thing that I'm using is a piece of garbage. The ISP is a very huge piece of garbage. So, I did kind of want to rant a little bit with this stream. I wanted to rant just a little bit with it. But I'm going to wait for some more people to enter the chat before I start, because this is about Twitch, actually. This rant's going to be about Twitch, specifically. And all of their shady shenanigans that they've been doing lately. I've ranted about Twitch before, and that was when I left. That was when I left Twitch.
You've got mail.
Same, it gets too hot and starts working my Wi-Fi thing. You might want to get that checked, Car. That's not really normal, as far as I know. I've heard it. I have heard it has been bad. Yes. Everything going on with Twitch has been a PR nightmare for them, I'd say, along with a bunch of other stuff regarding certain individuals, obviously. Oh my god. I need to drink some water. You are getting a new one. It's 3 years old. What, a new PC? New PC? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, excuse me. I wonder if he's just talking about a new PC or something. All right, publish. Yes. Publish. Yes. Forward. Oh, a new Wi-Fi thing, like a modem? Is that what you're talking about? Because you have to be careful about that, because there's the different types. There's the different types of modems, which is the router, and then you have to look at your internet service provider and stuff. A decent one this time? Lol. Okay. I'm just hoping that when the ISP installs the fiber optic cable over here, I'm planning to get their 1 gig plan for fiber, so none of these streaming issues should be happening. Oh, a Wi-Fi card? Is that what you're talking about? You're talking about a Wi-Fi card. Okay, yeah, that's different. I would always suggest to people, if you're going to use a gaming PC, do not use your Wi-Fi. Use your Ethernet cable if you can. Yeah, you have a USB one right now. Okay, does it have... Now here's the other thing with my advice with this. If you are planning to use a USB dongle, like if your computer does not have built-in Wi-Fi itself, get one that has an antenna on it. Those ones work. Those ones work pretty well. Not even one with a stick. I'm trying to figure out what words, what advice, where I am in on your end. I don't know what area I'm in on your end at all. Like the area of this chat, you know, the area of the chat. Doesn't have the antenna. Yeah, that's probably why. Those like super little ones, those ones don't work very well. If I were to suggest anything for, well, actually, I was gonna say you might as well just use Bluetooth at that point, but it's not always smart to do that. Like genuinely, it's not always smart to do that. I highly push Ethernet cables because they are, in my opinion, the most reliable. They are the fastest. If you want to squeeze the majority, as much as you can out of Wi-Fi, it's expensive, and that's my problem with that. You forgot what it was called? What, a Wi-Fi dongle? Wi-Fi USB dongle? Let me actually look one up. Let me see here. Drag Opera over here. Wi-Fi, that's sci-fi. Wi-Fi USB dongle. Okay, do you have one from TP-Link or Netgear? Or Wavelink? Because all three... Why are they making these without antennas?
You've got mail.
Antenna? Yeah, you need an antenna. You need one with an antenna. You either need one that goes inside the PC, like it plugs into one of the PCIe Express slots, or you need to get a USB one that has a dongle and make sure that it's like in a really cooled area. TP-Link. Okay, I would suggest for you, this one looks pretty good. The TP-Link Archer T3U Plus. It's like 20 bucks. It's a really cheap option. If you want some of the best, if you want some good signal and reliability, I'd say. Though I'm not entirely sure if this thing works. So if it does not work, then I'm just giving you a suggestion of like what would be a good option to buy. This is kind of nice, just sitting here chilling. For once, the stream's not skipping like 80,000 frames. I wonder if it's just the games plus the Wi-Fi. It's probably because the Wi-Fi did. Oh, okay. It's probably because the Wi-Fi is trying to compress it as much as it can, as fast as it can, but it can't do it.
You've got mail.
You've already ordered something for Christmas and some new headphones since you're Oh, is that why I've been hearing you through? Is that why I've been hearing myself through your speakers? That might actually explain it. That does make sense. Yeah. Yeah, lol. All right. I am trying to keep up with it as much as I can, Car. I really am. All right. Well, it looks like it's probably just gonna be car, so I guess I'll go ahead and go on my rant with Twitch. Twitch, what the hell are you doing? Like, seriously. Twitch has just gone completely off the rails now. It's ridiculous. I remember leaving Twitch. I remember leaving it because shoot. I was in high school at the time, so I was like maybe 16, maybe. Let me double check this. Let me go to my channel. I know I had this on my channel. Sorry, I like to do this. For me, it's like, it's weird, but it's comfortable. Just like rest my arm on the top of my head, keeps my blood flowing. Let's take a look. If I go to my videos, go to my oldest. 7 years ago, 3 years, 4 years ago. Okay, so this was back through the days when I was on Twitch. So in 2021, so yeah, I would have been like 16-ish. Pretty close to it. 16, 17. 16, 17 is when I started getting
You've got
on
mail.
Twitch and stuff. I do something similar with my legs. Lol. All right. But yeah, I was on Twitch back in 2020 and 2021. So when COVID was like at its peak. Whoops. And that's kind of when I noticed one of the biggest changes. It was that Twitch decided to change their policy when it came to the VODs. As you know, when someone streams on Twitch, you can, once you're done streaming, people can go back and watch that stream. The grace period, but there's a grace period for it. It's not like YouTube, where it's like you stream and it's now become like a video. It's up forever. Twitch doesn't do that. Twitch instead leaves it up for like a certain amount of time and then it's gone. So you can still save it. Like you could download it from their whatchamacallit. You could download it from their dashboard. And basically save the VOD and upload it later. That's what I did for most of my stuff. But there was one thing I remember, because I wanted to move stuff to YouTube, and I was like, I'll stream on Twitch, I'll upload to YouTube, I'll make them into YouTube videos. Yeah, it's really hard to do that when you were using a really crappy computer that could only stream Among Us. So, yeah, it's a little tricky. At least that's mail. Something, but that does sound annoying. It absolutely was. But what made it even worse is that close to when the pandemic was ending, I think I left Twitch in 22 or late 2021. I think I left it in late 2021 because one of the problems I had with it is that all of a sudden there was a policy change, you know? Twitch changed their policy so that the VOD time limit for someone who's not a partner, which I wasn't because no one watched any streams because everybody on Twitch is view botting. Twitch decided to change it from their 12 to 14 days to 5 to 7 days. Now, the reason I hated this is because, for one, I was 16, 17, 18. I was still in high school. I can't stream once a week in high school. That's why I like streaming every other week. You know, once every 2 weeks, that's amazing. You know, you got tons of time for school. But when they changed it to like once every 5 days, I'm like, I can't keep up with this. So I left. I left Twitch and I said I'm moving straight to YouTube from now on. And I focused solely on recording videos because that's what I always wanted to do. The reason I'm live streaming is because, for one, I like to engage with the community, and for me, it's honestly just an easier thing to do. Editing is a little bit harder than it looks, especially if you're a perfectionist. Makes it a whole lot trickier. But one of the things I remember was that when they changed that policy, I just uploaded all my VODs to YouTube, and I had no idea what to do at that point because I couldn't stream to YouTube because I didn't exactly know how. Smart choice, especially with the way Twitch has been going. Yeah, seriously. Oh my god, it was at the beginning of 2021 when I left. That's why I uploaded the VODs, isn't it? Hang on. I need to take a look at this. Let me see here. February 2021. Hold this. And then this one was uploaded the next year. February 12th. February 22nd. Yeah, see? Yeah, so I was 16 when I was started on Twitch. I was literally 16 years old when I started on Twitch. I think. I don't know. I don't remember. I was either 16 or 17 when I started streaming. And February 2022, I think that's close to when the pandemic was ending. Everybody went back to high school. And one of the things I remember, when being on a crappy computer that can only stream Among Us, that's the only reason I was on Twitch, is because my crappy computer couldn't record videos and it could only stream Among Us to Twitch, which is why I never did any of that other kind of stuff, you know. That's the whole reason I never did it. And that's the thing, that's what I remember the majority of. Good choice to move away from it.
You've got
with
mail.
the way it's been going. Yeah. Did the other side crash, car? Did it crash again? Because it looks like I'm getting a bunch of frame skips again. It's probably like super delayed, if I had to guess. Same with my old PC, lol. Yeah, because the thing is, I had an old crappy desktop computer, you know. It was meant to browse the internet and write Word documents. It was not meant for gaming. Yeah, lol. Okay. I had a feeling that one crashed again. Anyways, if you want an idea of how crappy my first computer was, that thing couldn't even run Minecraft. It refused to open Minecraft, of all games. Portrait did? Yeah, I thought so. But yeah, that's how crappy my computer was. It couldn't even run Minecraft. That is how bad it was. And so, yeah, literally all I could do was just stream to Twitch with the game Among Us, because Minecraft refused to open. Yeah, mine could open Word, but it could not open Minecraft. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry about that. And so, like, I'm streaming Among Us, you know, I'm having a good time. At least, software was an option, yeah, but it wasn't like any kind of like extreme programs, you know, like no like 3D modeling things. And that was back with like Windows 7. No, I was on a Windows 10. That's right. I was on a Windows 10 computer. But yeah, basically the last video I did, or last stream I did with Twitch, was the all imposter one. I think I did one more. Yeah, I did do one more. I did do one more. Because I remember my last stream on Twitch was me saying I'm leaving the platform. And I remember this because I had received an email from Twitch letting me know the new policies. Now, I wasn't getting very many viewers. That's obvious. But what makes this worse is that Twitch decided, like, I couldn't be partnered, and it was already annoying enough that I could only stream like once every other week just to keep a VOD on the Twitch channel at least. But what made it more annoying was when I got that email, because it said that if you're not a partner, your streams will only be left up for 5 days. And if you are a partner, then they are left up for the 14-day period and up. And then like the affiliate was like even higher, like whatever it was, like whatever the tiers are. The lowest, which is not a partner, not an affiliate,
You've got mail.
you only get 5 days. And I'm just like, I can't do this. I can't do this, Twitch. That was the moment when Twitch actually pissed me off, because it's just like, I'm trying here, you know. This is like a life goal. This is like a dream of mine that I want to happen, and Twitch was just like, nope, sorry. Those of you who aren't getting viewers, sorry. Because there was this one time on Twitch, I streamed like every single day. I streamed like 2 hours of Among Us every single day. Never got a single viewer. Honestly, Twitch sucks. I haven't ever streamed on it before. Twitch does. And yes, it's very hard to get a following on Twitch. I streamed every day on Twitch, 2 hours, one time for like a spring break or something of just Among Us. And I got no viewers. Not a single one. So that, that didn't help. When they said, oh, if you're not a partner, yeah, sorry. Because, you know, it was hard enough just to stream for me once every other week because school was so taxing. But I basically said, all right, peace, Twitch, bye. And then the funniest thing, I uploaded my VODs. I made sure I got my VODs. I wish I had saved the one where I said I was leaving Twitch. I would love to watch that one back. And lo and behold, almost a year later, Twitch decides to add nudity, like a new nudity thing to please their hot tub streamers. And I'm reading this policy and I'm like, oh my God. I'm glad I left when I did. I was so glad that I left when I did when I read that new policy. I was just like, what the flip, you know? It was just like, what the hell? Twitch, why? Like, and this was when like Kick was like becoming like the next big thing. Everyone moved over to Kick. Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. I'm not kidding, Car. Twitch added a policy that allowed some nudity on their platform because they wanted to please their hot tub streamers who kept getting annoyed and banned and all that. I thought this was about AI moderation. No. I don't. If Twitch has AI moderation, I don't like non-existent. But with Twitch, it's just like, it really showed me at that point that like it was a good thing I left. It was a good thing I left that platform. And I'm still happy I did. I'm a lot happier here on YouTube, that's for sure. All my VODs are still up, you know. All my previous streams and shit. But just to see that Twitch added that policy alone after me basically saying peace because you don't want to leave my stuff up and help me gain a following at all. It's just like, you know, it was just like, well, yeah, screw you now, Twitch. You know, Charlie, Penguin Zero actually made a video about it a while ago, like I think a couple of years ago. Let me actually see if I can find an article. Yep, here it is. Sexual content policy update, December 15th, 2023.
You've got mail.
Oh my God. How did I not notice that? Various updates that we treat fictionalized nudity. Yeah. Dan Clancy Dan Clancy once again. I grabbed some chips, and 2 of my chips have the same taco shell. Nice. Dan Clancy once again comes in and says, if it's fictionalized nudity. This is ridiculous. What the hell? What the actual hell? Oh, interesting. Yahoo search. Twitch rolls back nudity policy after platform spammed with what? I'm assuming that last word is with sexually explicit drawings. Yeah, figured. No one wants to see that. Dan Clancy, you're sick. You're sick. Dan Clancy, you're a sick. That's what you are. You know. Like holy hell. Just making one of those. Yeah, just make it in OF at this point. Live streaming OF. Like Jesus Christ. I remember seeing Moist Critical's point of view on it and how he found a stream where someone was just like, I'm not even gonna say it. It shocked me that that was even allowed on that platform, and I'm just like, I'm really glad I'm not on it. Now here's the big question. I'm gonna wait for you guys to ask, but I'll answer it a little bit later. But yeah, and now the latest with the whole TwitchCon and the assault on Emiru. I feel so bad about that. Like, holy crap. That's the reason I'm never going to go to one of those things. For one, they're not safe. That's been proven more than once. They are 100% not safe. And it's upsetting because, you know, that's the place where you meet your fans and stuff. You know, you get to interact with your community and like continue this parasocial relationship, but it's just not safe, you know. I'm never going to one of those. And here's the thing, if I'm going, you're not going to hear about it. You will not hear about it. That is the thing. I'm going to make sure it stays that way. But yeah, it's just like Dan Clancy is a sick person. A sick person. And then all the drama. Now here's the other thing too. This is one of the things I wanted to rant about. Pokimane, actually. I know all the simps are gonna come in here and start giving me hate comments, but throw them at me. I don't care. I don't give a damn what you think. I don't give a damn what you think if you're hating on me. I'll still read it, but like if you want to subscribe, then go right ahead. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn if you send me hate comments for this, because Pokimane, you. You know, you, Pokimane. It's just like, here's my problem with Pokimane. I watched her for a bit on Twitch. She's an entitled spoiled brat. You know, seeing all this drama come out on her with the whole like calling her audience broke boys because they won't buy her cookies, or with the like saying like they hate the rich, that they hate rich people, when literally her net worth is pretty much $20 million. And then she corrects it and says, oh, no, the ultra rich. This is the problem with that. This is the problem with the people. This is the problem with the people who have the biggest followings on Twitch, in my opinion. They are entitled. They feel self-entitled. They all they want is money. That's all it is to them. You know, that's all it is about. That's all it's about. And how they will do it is that, I'll probably use, I don't know who to use here for an example, but basically, like, they will listen 100% to their chat, and that is just the hugest mistake you could ever make. You should never 100% listen to your chat. You know, have some morals. Have as More Pegasus puts this, have some flippin' backbone. You know, get yourself a backbone. I have no idea if there's anyone left in the chat. I think I scared them all. Oh, that would be so funny if I actually did. Did I scare the chat off? Or are y'all just like listening in horror? Or something. But yeah, man. Just screw Pokemon. I just don't get it. I don't understand how you could be at the top of a platform, literally the actual face of it. Pokemon is the face of Twitch.
You've got mail.
Oh, Ken. Okay, you're saying you're listening. All right, good. It's good to see that there's someone still there. But this is the thing. This is the thing I don't get. Pokemon is pretty much the face of Twitch, or she was for the longest time. What I remember, anytime I downloaded Streamlabs, Pokemon's face was going to be there when anytime I logged into Twitch. Logged in using Twitch. Pokemon's face is always there. She was the literal face of Twitch. And she's just gone off and abused it, and Twitch has done nothing. Because Twitch only cares about money, she only cares about money, and her fragile little ego. I mean, just look at what's happened, you know. I remember this. Someone simply just like made rude comments about Pokemon. Someone who had just gotten someone who had just got partnered with Twitch. And he was first banned for a week or like a day-ish. And Pokemon went on her stream and complained about it, saying that it should be a permaban. And Twitch did that. Twitch permabanned him. It's crazy. There's one thing I promise. There's one thing I'm going to promise now to my chat, and that is this. My morals are not going away. You can try and try and try as much as you want. My morals are not going away. Hell, here's the other thing. If someone were to donate me $10,000 to make me go do something that the chat wants me to do, I'm not doing it, and I'm refunding you that $10,000 because I'm not taking that money for that kind of reason. I'm never taking that. I don't care if it's 10,000, 100,000, 1 million. I do not care. I'm not bending. My backbone is still going to be there. I am not bowing to the chat's will because they throw me $10,000. That is the stupidest thing. That is the dumbest thing you could ever do. The reason you have your audience isn't for the audience to control you. It's because your audience enjoys what you do, you know, for just being you. That's why we call it YouTube. And that's the other thing too. With this whole, I saw Carr mention this earlier, AI, this whole AI stuff. I have problems with that too. Mostly with just companies, not so much like with the online space, but just like normal companies in general. You know, people are losing their jobs to AI. And here's the biggest problem with that.
You've got mail.
I got mail. So basically Twitch banned someone for not liking Pokemon. Well, he didn't. He made a snarky comment about Pokemon. Twitch banned him gave him like a week ban, or it was like a 24-hour ban, kind of like a day ban. Pokemon caught wind of that, went live, and ranted about it, saying like, Twitch, like you gave him like a week, You gave him like a week. Insulting your favorite streamer. I mean, I'll just up and leave. That's what she did, and Twitch basically just decided to permaban that guy. Taking away pretty much his livelihood there. But back to the main thing I was talking about with the AI and companies thing. These companies are making a big mistake. They're making huge mistakes because if they keep going down this route, this is going to be a problem for them. Because, for one, with the amount of jobs they've cut, just to save themselves a couple extra bucks, they're the only ones that are going to have that money. So the problem is, like, let's say a company sells a product. They decide to heavily invest in AI. Great. You know, AI seems to be a lot cheaper than the man. Well, now that man has no money to buy your product. because you decided to invest in AI. This is the thing I say. AI should not be replacing jobs. It should be helping make them more efficient. It's not about replacing the human factor. It's about helping the human factor. That is where I see AI should be. But these companies are taking it to such the hugest extreme, like the Matrix level, I'm going to call it. And they're basically saying, oh, we've got AI to do that now. Let's let go some of these people. We'll fill our pockets up right now. We'll lickety split, make our stock prices go up. Yeah, give it about... Once AI fully goes into place, give it about, like, I don't know, maybe 5-7 years. That's going to be my guess. That is going to be my official guess for how long it's going to take before companies realize how big of a mistake they've made. They have no idea. But yeah, Twitch. I don't think I'm ever gonna go back. I don't think I'm ever gonna go back to Twitch. Probably the only reason I will ever go back to Twitch is if they actually clean up their damn platform and actually fix a bunch of stuff. For one, Dan Clancy, you can fix that real easy. And I'm not like saying like get rid of Pokemon or something. I'm just saying, can you guys like tame the lion, I guess is a way to say this. But more like get your hands on this a bit firmer. You know, if someone breaks your rules, they break the rules. You know, they don't get a free pass. That's another big problem I have with this stuff. You know, if they break the rules, it's like, oh, well, yeah, we want money. So, I hate companies sometimes. Jacksepticeye is right, though. Jacksepticeye is definitely 100% right. It's that Mr. Beast has ruined YouTube. YouTube's become more of like a corporate stuff. It's not, there's no you left in it. Which is why it's hard for a lot of creators to even get started, because the content creation area is so saturated now. It makes it so difficult. Like how getting up to this many subs was very tricky. It was definitely very tricky. But I know basically the formula of how to get your numbers like this. It's not something easy. Like, for one, all these YouTube gurus talk about like here's how to get like the maximum amount of views, and yeah, like you can Twitch has turned into a chaotic cesspool of big streamers getting the spotlight and smaller streamers are barely even on the front page. Yeah, it's not just about that either. It's also that those big streamers are just biting with each other, or biting at each other pretty much, you know, just like saying, oh, I've got the bigger wallet, I've got the bigger following, oh, they hurt my feelings. You know, it's just them going at each other. It's not really a friendly space anymore. Like I said, I would love to go back to Twitch because that was my OG stuff, but I'm not going back when it's this cesspool. Anyways, back to the whole YouTube thing. Like I said, like gurus will tell you like, oh, here's how to get the most views. And then Mr. Beast goes on and says, we're doing everything for retention. That's not what this is supposed to be about, you know? If someone enjoys the content, then they enjoy it. But the problem is, Mr. Beast has created this formula for the content space that it's not YouTube anymore. That's why it's so hard to make it. Because now YouTube, with their whole shorts thing, the only reason I'm doing this shorts thing is because I like it. I like to see the numbers. I like the numbers. I will admit it. I like the numbers. I like to see the numbers. It makes me happy to see when numbers actually do good. But I still have my morals. So, oh my god, I remember this one time. There was a short I released, and I actually regret doing this. I genuinely regret doing this. There was a short I posted a while back during the Academy SMP days. This episode included us being teleported to a mushroom island where CK showed us a pig head that he had built. That pig head had a crown on it. And CK decided to blow it up, and I started laughing because I thought it was funny. But my reason for this is because that was what CK's avatar was. It was a pig with a crown on its head. So to me, I was just like, oh, it's just my friend blowing up his own head. When I posted that short, I was given a different perspective. And that was a lot of people coming on to me about disrespecting Technoblade. And the amount of likes versus dislikes. Like, I know the ones who liked it were people who understood the context. Those that did not like it were Technoblade pretty much super fans. And once I understood, I'm like, oh shit, this is not good. I better take this down. So I took it down. And I went to my community page. I think I did. I don't remember if I ever made an apology. If I haven't, then I'm going to say it now. I am sorry. I really did not. That was not what the message was intended for. But there was never a message. I can't speak, bro. But basically, I went out and I apologized. I think I apologized the following stream. And I don't think very many people saw it because, you know, they're sliding around on shorts. But yeah, like public perception is one thing. The reason I was scared about that is because if I was a viewer and I saw that, I would definitely be mad. And I'm like, you know what? This is not okay. I'm going to take it down because people won't have context. So yeah. But yeah, I'm a numbers guy. I like the numbers. I like to see them come in. Like today, we're not getting too many big numbers like we've gotten in some days. It's really hit or miss with a lot of this. And I like to see the numbers. I know how to get it done. But like I said, with these YouTube gurus, they'll tell you like how to get these big number stats. Yeah, you can get views. You can get like impressions. And they say it's all down to your thumbnail and title. And it's like, no, that's not right at all. That's part of it. That's part of it. Think of it like this. When you pick up a book, what do you see? You see the title and a cover. Now, there's this saying, never judge a book by its cover. Yeah, that's true. But what's important about the reason they say that is because what's important about the book isn't the flashy thumbnail or the flashy title. It's the content inside it. That is what's important. That's what's important. Is the content that you make inside it. It's not about the it can't, like, yeah, the title and the cover of it will help, but it's ultimately down to what's inside it. And because Mr. Beast has made this ridiculous formula to gain as much retention as he can, no one's gonna watch more than 5 seconds. So then the new goal is trying to hook them within those 5 seconds. And it's disappointing. You know, a lot of smaller creators will pour their heart and soul into this, expecting like 10,000, maybe 100,000 views. And then they only end up with 10. Because they couldn't engage the audience within those first 5 seconds. This is the problem. This is the big problem. That is why I feel so bad for YouTubers. Hell, I'm happy I made it this far, you know? It's this is really hard to get. It's if I remember correctly, like, this is like the top, I'm in the top 8% with subscribers, with the subscriber amount. I'm in the top 8% of the platform, so it's hard to make it this far. What I want to do for YouTube is just make some YouTube videos. That's what I always wanted to do, but then I started streaming on YouTube, and I actually like it. I actually do like it. Heck, I'll pour my heart and soul into this too. What's annoying is when people ask for those views. That's the obvious thing. For me, they'll come and go. You know, a view's a view. It's not too hard. And that's my other complaint to those smaller channels. Nothing against y'all. Nothing against those smaller channels who are trying to make it out there. But stop guilt tripping your audience, please. That is not how you gain an audience. How you gain an audience is by putting in the actual work to make the content how you want to make the content the way you want it to be made. That's all there is to it. So stop guilt tripping your audiences. Like, I'll scroll on shorts and then I'll come across, this was back then. I would scroll on shorts and I would come across one that says, should I delete my channel? And then another one's like, I feel like quitting right now. And then another one's just like, life's been low. And it's just, it's always a black screen and white text. Before I even think about interacting with it, I go over and I look at the comments and the likes. The majority of those barely had any likes, barely had any comments. And then I came in and I saw one that had tons of comments and tons of likes. And I'm just like, the reinforcement is not good. Reading some of those comments, pretty much every single one of them was hearted. And then I would refresh it. I would see one that was bad, like someone saying, you might as well quit now if you're asking for this. I came back 5 minutes later, that comment was gone. So yeah, you've seen those type of shorts. Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, seriously, to those creators, That's not how you do this. That's not how you get here. Put in the actual work. And here's the other thing. A lot of creators don't, like, they'll try, but they'll only go like one video. And then if it only gets like 2 views, then they're upset. You know, they're sad. They feel like that it's not working. And it's just like, well, you didn't try. Posting one thing, that's not trying. If you want something, if you really want to try, 3 days out of a week, post something. Be it a short video, community post, whatever. Live stream. 3 days a week. See what happens. Give it like 2 weeks. And if you see one that does good, focus on that one. But make sure that you're doing something that you love, you know? Don't go around asking for people to subscribe because you feel like deleting your channel, or like that you're in a low place. Like, obviously, yeah, you are, but you need to put in the work. That's what a lot of people don't understand. They think that content creation is probably one of the easiest things in the world. It can be if you do it right. It can absolutely be the easiest thing if you do it right. But if you do it wrong, then yeah, it's not going to work. Never will. Sorry. Oh, my tongue's really dry. I need to... I don't talk very much anymore, do I? I can tell you this. Here is the secret. This is the actual secret to making it as far as I have. Have fun. Seriously, that's it. That's all it is. All you have to do is just enjoy hanging with your friends. Enjoy the surprises in the content. Enjoy. Have a smile on your face. Be happy the game that you're playing. Don't go into it like you're working a 9 to 5, sitting down at a desk. All because the game hasn't become a game anymore. Because it becomes a job. Don't do that. Have fun. You know? That is the best piece of advice I could give to any kind of content creator out there. Especially those that want to do gaming content. Gaming content, or like something exciting, like workouts, cooking, even. The ones I think that are kind of, you know, I'm just gonna say it. The ones I think that are pointless, like they're not really having fun. They're just trying to get the most amount of money. It's the YouTube gurus. Like, those guys are like, here's how to get the best video and thumbnail. It's like, you better plan your thumbnail before you start recording. And it's just like, okay. And it's like, here, see, it worked on my previous video. That previous video being about something that was him being a YouTube guru, like how to get 1 million subs in 2 months. So it's like, oh yeah, of course that video did well. You preyed on a very specific audience. No wonder it worked so well. So those YouTube gurus, none of their advice works. Only thing I will say though, one of the best pieces of advice I got from them was the thumbnails and the titles. Don't try to oversaturate your thumbnails. That's one thing. And make the titles unique to it, I'd say. Like, there was one I posted where it was like Banana Man, I think. I don't remember, but like, let's say I make a video about someone baking cookies in Minecraft. And one of my friends like says Banana Man. I'm just like, you know what? That'd be good for the title. Instead of calling it Baking Cookies in Minecraft, I'm instead going to call it Banana Man, but the thumbnail will show the cookie being made in Minecraft. See? Now, what happens in there, like whatever happens in there that's funny, use that. Like that video will get plenty of views. But yeah, that's really the whole secret, is just to have fun. With this Mr. Beast thing, don't follow him. Don't follow in his footsteps. The lessons he teaches for YouTubers is that spend boatloads of money and it's just instant views. Yeah, no, that's not how it's supposed to work. It should not be like, I spent $10 million on something. He goes like, I spent $10 million visiting these 3 islands. Yeah, people will watch that, obviously, but whatever you put inside it, he does it for retention. So it's not really showing him having fun. It's just him doing his job. All the fun's gone, basically. These platforms need to start caring more about their actual communities. Like, Twitch needs to listen to Emmy Room. And to get all these self-entitled jackass streamers under control. And for YouTube, bring back the you. You know? Let's not make things corporate. YouTube was meant to be a place that was not corporate. So, yeah. Thoughts, questions, comments, anyone in the chat? I'll be taking those now. Just give me 1 second. I need to see a couple messages. Let's see.
You've got mail.
I do eventually want to start making videos on simple games like Typical Colors 2 on Roblox. It's like Team Fortress 2, but for people who don't have PCs like me. Okay, that's a good idea. That's actually not a bad idea. You have any questions about it, though? Like, I'm happy to answer any questions. Gonna be ending the stream here soon because I want to go eat something. Not really. I've been playing it a lot and I've gotten pretty good at it. Nice. Congrats, man. Well, definitely try something. Definitely just what I suggest for the smaller content creators is just to experiment. You can't really just pick your niche and say, I'm going to go do this. Like, you have to experiment and see what works. That's how to do it. Granted, it might not be something you like at first, but you can always change it in the future. That's actually a really good piece of advice. I needed to give that to myself. Wow. So yeah, you don't have to, like, just experiment right now. Whatever you want to do for YouTube, you can still do it, but make it first. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end stream here. So if you guys did enjoy this little ranting stream, I guess I'll call it, and pep talks, you know what? Who cares? Yeah. Who cares? No need to subscribe today, fellas. Anyways, see you later, guys.